13-3, the Bismarck Blaze leading the Erie Invaders after one quarter. And Tom, Bismarck showed pretty much what we expected. Strong, hard-nosed defense. They stopped Erie on their first possession, which led to their first touchdown. And then a passing game that takes what you give them.
They are running very smart routes just in front of their defenders, taking whatever kind of cushion the defenders are willing to give and using that to make their yardage. In addition, they're very balanced. You know, they're running the ball, they're passing the ball. They really are very impressive right now.
The Invaders, on the other hand, really need to get something going offensively. They haven't played that badly defensively. Certainly when you give up the ball on your 22, a short field becomes a lot shorter then. And
offensively, they are missing. They are really missing right now. They need to retune that.
So here we go with a 4th down and goal. Cradle with the ball, and it's a fumble recovered by Meyer in the end zone for the touchdown.
Cradle hit that point of attack, met a wall of defenders. The ball came popping out, and it rolled forward into the end zone. At least I think that will be the argument, whether or not a defensive man touched that ball, but whether they're going to allow that fumble forward into the end zone to result in a touchdown.
We'll take a look at the Conway and O'Malley instant replay, but
the ball carrier in possession scored a touchdown.
Well, they say Cradle scored the touchdown before the fumble. Wow.
They're saying he broke the plane of the goal line prior to giving up the ball.
That's what they say. So credit Quentin Cradle with a 2-yard touchdown run. Makes it 19-3. And Niebner in to attempt the point after. Low snap and blocked. That's Chris Curtis. And let's see, the ball's still going, and the Invaders take it all the way down to the 7-yard line.
I think you're going to have an argument going on right now, and the linesman over there is getting an earful from the coaching staff of the Blaze. The argument's going to be that that rush came from the outside.
We'll see on the replay. That's tough to tell.
It's hard to tell from this angle. It looks like he came around the end. The idea is they are supposed to rush in the A and B gaps with a 5-man line. It looks like that man may have come off around the end.
Whatever the case, it was kind of exciting to see number 90, Chris Curtis, the Harbor Creek High School and Villanova University grad, rumbling down the field after he blocked that point after. Turns out to be much ado about nothing because he didn't score with it, so it'll be Niebner kicking off and a 19-3 Blaze lead. Dorsey deep for the Invaders, Cooper the up back.
Dorsey, of course, has run 3 back this year. He averages 25.5 yards a return, 383 total return yards already this year.
Key to Donald Dorsey is what he does in the first 10 yards. And the ball hit one of the rafters. First time we've seen that this year.
I think that may be a comment. I see the speaker shaking up there. It may just be that kicker does not like the music that we've been playing here this evening. By the IFL rules, when the ball hits one of the overhang structures like that, it's automatically dead, and the other team gets it at the 25-yard line.
First and 10 Invaders at midfield. They need to get something going. They're down 19-3. 2 straight touchdowns by Bismarck after Erie had cut it to 6-3 on a 45-yard Jamie Pucci field goal. But
Erie needs to settle down and get something going here.
Here's Weibel, play fake, throws across the middle, deep intended for Dorsey. Or correction, that was Manny Johnson.
Manny Johnson had split his defenders, and Weibel let him just a hair too much. The ball was where it needed to be, just a little further than it needed to have.
6.
You know, it also looks like they've already decided after that first quarter that initial plan is just not going to work. Strength against strength. At this point, it appears that discretion might be the better part of valor, and Erie's going to throw the ball.
Johnson, Kirk, and Dorsey split to the left. Cooper the lone setback behind Weibel. 2nd and 10 from midfield for the Invaders. Straight drop by Weibel. Nice block by Cooper, and the pass complete to Dorsey. They're going to mark him right at the 15-yard line. Well, that's enough for a first down.
In this kind of passing offense, that pass there is the equivalent of an off-tackle play.
Yeah.
You'll notice that what happens here is that Dorsey, in part of the trips, is able to just clear enough of the defense. He's able to then turn around and open up. It's a nice, safe pass play, the kind of thing you want to do to get your quarterback relaxed. Nice effort there on Dorsey's part, too, as he struggles to get that first down.
Nice job by Cooper to pick up Green, who had broken free of the offensive lineman. Here's Weibel, tossed to Cooper, inside the 15, inside the 10, and they're going to mark him out at the 6-yard line, a pickup of 9 on the play.
Got a flag on the play. It appears that once again we're going to have an offsides over on the defense. They were just a little over anxious. Nice, nicely designed play. Those tosses to the outside or something, particularly that weak side, or something that Erie did identify early on prior to the game that they wanted to try and do. That's working.
Gee, this will be a tough decision.
Offside, 27
First
defense.
and 7 or
Penalties
second
declined.
and 1?
Second down.
I believe you take 2nd and 1, and they did.
Give me that field position.
Yeah. I could coach in this league.
You could do this.
No,
you know, it's 16 points down. I'll tell you what, sometimes we kiddingly call this fast break football. 16 points is not that bad, but you don't want to let it get any further away than this if you're Erie.
No, because especially because Bismarck is playing so well offensively, and you mentioned the X factor, Danny Ragsdale. He's played a marvelous game so far. 2nd and 1 for the Invaders on the Blaze 6-yard line. Weibel give to Cooper, cut up the middle inside the 5. That'll be enough for a first down. 1st and goal, Invaders. Swarm of tacklers, and on the bottom, my bet is that it's Bijou, and it is.
Now, we've had a couple of plays that have gone to the outside for the Invaders, and you notice at that time there was some running room inside for Cooper. A couple of passes, it makes the DBs respect that a little more. And it looks like what they're going to try to do is go down and hook it. They've had success with that. Taking a page out of what Bismarck did at the beginning of this game. Take what it is the defense gives you. At the 4-yard line, if they could give you a couple of yards, you can score pretty easy.
Dorsey and Kirk split wide left. Johnson, the lone receiver, to the right side. Cooper in the backfield. Pitches to Cooper. Makes a cut at the 5, and nothing there. Bijou on top, and Larry Long on the bottom. They did a nice job of bottling that play up. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Defense obviously well aware that those tosses are working.
Strong left split.
Okay,
it's good because he's in there. He can do this. Right. Strong left split. Okay, let's go toss this way with Dorsey.
Now it looks like we might see Donald Dorsey lining up as a running back, and a toss to him.
This will be a great test to see if the Blaze defense is keying on Cooper. If they're keying on Cooper and he goes the opposite way, and you give the ball to someone with the kind of speed of Dorsey, the young man could have an opportunity to get that 4 yards made up pretty quick into the end zone.
2nd and goal at the Blaze 4-yard line. Toss to Dorsey. Cuts it up inside. Touchdown, Invaders! Donald Dorsey goes 4 yards. And the Invaders split that lead right in half.
Good thought process on the part of the Invaders coaching staff. Well-designed drive. They put that one together well, taking advantage of the strengths they were seeing in their first few series.
Nice block on the play also by 75, Brian Wilcox, as we see on the replay. Wilcox just pushes Green far enough away that his pursuit's a little late.
Great desire on Dorsey's part as he makes that last stretch to get across the goal line. For those of you that are listening on radio, it just dawned on me once in a while, you're going to hear the coach of the Erie Invaders talking to his quarterback. That's that voice you hear calling the play kind of quietly. And those whistles is the play going awry.
Yeah,
that's what you're hearing.
Yeah, that's it'll be a false start against the Invaders. Nice job that time by Sean Johnson to fake a rush, and it caused one of the Erie linemen to come up out of his stance. Takes it back to the 6.
You know, you get one block like happened, even if it turns out that block was around an end, it makes those linemen think. They do not want to have that happening.
So that makes this extra point a 24-yarder. Weibel to hold, Pucci to kick, and another false start.
You got to flinch again over on the right side. Big old number 97.
Start. 97 offense.
Chris Grahowski, yeah.
3-yard penalty. We're still on the P18.
Actually, this might work in Erie's favor. Pucci wasn't kicking real well in warm-ups from close in. the further back they move him, the better his chances, I think.
This could be a plan.
Interestingly enough, though, he never kicked towards this end. He's kicking towards what would be the east end of the arena.
Erie in a steady march backwards here.
Weibel the hold. Pucci's kick is up and good. So with 9:24 to play in the first half, the Invaders drive 25 yards. The Final Four covered by Donald Dorsey. As we take a look on the scoreboard, the score, timeout on the field, Bismarck 19, Erie 10. This is IFL action on the Image Sports Network and MSC. Tom Tomaszewski, I'm Steve Bowen, and of course we want to again welcome the folks back in Bismarck listening on K-Fire. The score with 9:55 left to play in the first half. The Blaze 19, the Invaders 10. The Blaze broke out on top 6-0 on a 6-yard Danny Ragsdale touchdown run. Erie answered with a 45-yard Jamie Pucci field goal. Then a 50-yard kickoff return by Lucas. A 2-yard touchdown run by Cradle made it 19-3. Erie answered back with Donald Dorsey's 4-yard touchdown run with the point after. It's where we're at right now, 19-10. Pucci to kick. Lucas and Woods deep for the Blaze. Rather short kick. Woods takes it at his own 4. Out over the 10, 15, has a block, has a couple blockers inside Invaders territory. Knocked out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it at. Oh, all the way down to the 13-yard line. Alan Jackson with the tackle. They'll mark it at the 14.
And who was leading that convoy? Big old number 48, Quentin Cradle. I tell you what, check that man. Is he wearing a Superman t-shirt under that jersey or what?
I don't have my x-ray specs, but I do have the ability to show the instant replay.
Nice high kick. It goes deep enough, but they have a chance. Actually goes about the 5-yard line. He picks it up, and when he takes off, you're just look in front of the play. 48 is just battling all the way down the field, 10, 15 yards.
Here's a delay to Cradle, and the Invaders do a great job of snuffing that out. Hendershot and Curtis came in from their line positions, and then it was big number 60, LaPrice Reynolds, who finished things off.
Reynolds was not going to continue to be pushed around, and he showed great drive in that. Took on the block at the point of attack, drove straight through it, and then he stood Cradle up and kept driving him back. A really super play at a time that the Erie defense needed it.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 from the Erie 16. Ragsdale in the shotgun. Straight drop back, looks to throw and does out in the flat to Cradle. Great move at the 10 and breaks it all the way down to the 1-yard line. Finally tackled by Chris Curtis. But he put on a move actually about the 13-yard line on Ed Matty.
Ed Matty reached out and tried to grab hold of him with a shoulder and an arm and ended up with an awful lot of nothing in his grasp. You'll notice a little flare pass here off to the left flat. Nice decision by the quarterback. There it is. You got to put more than that shoulder and arm on him. You're not going to bring that man down that way. Look at him drive to that goal line.
6 foot 235, and as we've mentioned, he's shown more on this offensive drive than he has all game offensively. There he is barreling. Oh, they marked him out at the 4-yard line. What a
no, they moved it up.
Yeah,
but it looks like.
I thought he was down at the 1 on that flare pass. They marked him out at the 4. That's okay. He picked up those 3 yards on that carry.
They must have said that when he was in that pile on the far side that he ran into the boards.
Wow. Anyway, pickup of 3 brings up 2nd and 1. Hasn't been as strong running the football, but boy, he's made a contribution in a lot of other ways. And now Ragsdale looked like a busted play.
It looked like a busted play, and once again, Quentin Cradle, give Ragsdale credit for having the presence to get around that corner. The presence and the speed. But Quentin Cradle, you notice what happened is that one back took off to the left. Cradle recognized the broken play, and he just put a shoulder in the defensive man who was there ready to make the tackle and snuff that play out.
Danny Ragsdale goes 1 yard, his 2nd touchdown run of the game. 7:09 to play first half, and it's 25-10 in favor of Bismarck. Niebner's kick coming up. Kick is up and good. So that makes it 26-10. And special teams again have hurt the Invaders. Let's take a look at this busted play again.
Now watch what happens. You can see the quarterback here. He spins in the direction that makes it look like he wanted that thing to go to the left side. And Cradle then puts the shoulder in that defensive man in order to let the quarterback get the corner.
Yeah, it looked like it was supposed to be a pitch to Rod Hobbs, and Hobbs was a little too far away from Ragsdale, so he just spun around, and Cradle did what Cradle does best, and that's take some people out.
Heady decision by the quarterback, too. You know, it's too easy in that kind of situation for someone to get the heebies a little bit about them and try to make something happen there by forcing the ball to the man who may have blown the assignment. Ragsdale has really shown some good decision-making as well as great athletic ability in his play so far tonight.
As we mentioned, special teams hurting the Invaders, and that's also been one of their Achilles heels. Lucas with a 50-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, and Woods took that last kickoff back down 35 yards to set up an extremely short field, officially a 13-yard touchdown drive.
Erie's playing uphill right now. A kick return would go a long way to help them get back on the right side of things, but that turns out to be a very effective kick. They're going to say it's out at about the 2-3 yard line.
Yeah, it was a squib kick, and at the 10, instead of going right, it went left.
Line, first down.
So it's out of bounds.
At the 3.
And it'll be Erie's ball, 1st and 10 from their own 3.
There are a couple of very effective ways for teams to kick off. One is kind of a kill shot like you might have in a racquetball game, where you get the bottom of the board back there in the end zone. And because the rule is you got to run it out, you can often get a point for your team by catching them back in the end zone. Another great kick is what you just saw. Jamie Pucci just got it right down in there, 2-3 yard line. It pins the Erie Invaders back next to their own goal line.
Double wide out to the right side. Cooper the lone setback behind Weibel. 1st and 10, Erie from their own 3. Pitch to Cooper. Oh, stops on a dime and then makes a cut. And instead of being dropped back at the 1, he gets out to the 8-yard line.
Cooper made such a good cut on that, he scared himself and made himself fall over. He did stop on a dime, changed direction. Watch him at this point. You'll notice that the play is going nowhere off to the right side. He recognizes that very quickly there. There's the stop. There's the little stumble there. Nice move as he runs away from number 65. Just tucks his nose right up in there. Great gain up to the 8-yard line.
Larry Long on the tackle. That's not only stopping on a dime, that's giving change back. Pickup on the play of 7 yards. Brings up 2nd and 3. Or correction, 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Weibel is sacked all the way back inside the 1-yard line. Borchers, great job of just continuing with the pressure.
There are some tremendous individual efforts going on that Bismarck sideline. And I'll tell you, one of them right there, Borchard again, split the double team he ended up having. Great tackle.
Clock moving, 5:15 to play first half. With a 26-10 Bismarck lead, Erie went from 2nd and 5 to 3rd and 12.
Trips off to here in this kind of field. A great thing to do is to air it out and get yourself out underneath your goal posts.
Cooper stays into block. Weibel, little hitch pattern. Pass complete to Dorsey. And that brings it out to just over the 9-yard line, actually about the 9.5-yard line. Erie needs to get to their own 13, so that's a long 3 yards to go on 4th down, and when you're down 16, I think we'll see Pucci come in to punt. That's a smart move.
That gained them some space. They need to change the dynamic of this field right now. They're playing uphill, and with the way things have been going, if they can find a way to get Pucci to pin the Blaze back in their end of the field for a little bit, give their defense a chance to try to do something to create some turnovers. Both these teams have been very good in their turnover ratio.
Junior Baker back deep to receive, and the ball was touched by one of the...
It's a live ball.
Oh, the Invaders blew a chance as it was touched by one of the Bismarck players. Now there's a little extracurricular activity trying to wrestle the ball away. But at the 10-yard line, it was touched by one of the Bismarck players, and it was live, and Corey Keys was about...
Man, what a collision that was. What a collision. Now remember that as soon as this ball goes 10 yards, it is anybody's ball at this moment. Now watch, He's got his hands on it right there. Separate the man from the ball. That's what Bismarck did on that play, and now the scramble for the football. Bismarck comes up with it after probably some pretty good infighting in the bottom of that pile.
1st and 10 for the Blaze at their own 4. Corey Keys about an inch away from making a great recovery. Now 4 wide receiver package, and the pass is complete out to Ricky Brumfield.
I tell you what, Brumfield was awfully lonely there in the middle of that field. They had trips off to the near side. Brumfield came down and cut it off the cross after about 10 yards. There was no one near him. Watch what happens here. Brumfield is the man cutting across right now. Take a look how open he is. There's nobody there. Number 41 not closing quick enough from deep. And they could throw that all day.
Looks like a pretty judicious spot, too. It looked like he got whacked by Jackson just inside the 15. They mark it at the 16.
He's open again.
Swing pass to Cradle, and Cradle still on the move. Wow, he's tough. Ed Matty missed him the first time, got him the second time, but not before he picks up probably the toughest 4 yards you're going to see in this league.
Cradle not willing to go down on that play at all, eating up some clock now, and I know we're still in the first half. I don't want people to think that I've lost my mind here, but you got to think about what's going on here. 16 points ahead. If they can give the ball to Cradle like that, and it takes that long to bring him down, it makes this a very, very short game.
Interestingly enough, Manny Johnson is now in on defense for the Invaders. Trips to the right side. The quarterback, Ragsdale, whacked as he threw it by Ed Matty. The ball goes sailing into the seats, so that'll bring up a 4th and 4.
Ed Matty came late. It wasn't an immediate rush. You'll notice that what happens here is he splits that gap after he notices his line mates take the offensive linemen out of their positions, puts a solid lick on the quarterback, and the ball goes sailing complete to a fan.
2 minutes left in the first half. Official timeout on the field to score. Bismarck 26, Erie 10. This is the IFL Game of the Week on MSC and the Image Sports Network.
Get your tickets today. You won't want to miss a second of the explosive wall-to-wall war called indoor football. It's a high-scoring, hard-hitting game that's so tough, we had to put a wall up to protect the fans.
Catch a player, throw him back. Catch a football, you keep it.
For information about tickets to see your favorite IFL team, call 1-877-IFL-GAME. That's 1-877-IFL-GAME.
Julio Arena, the score with 2 minutes left in the first half is Bismarck 26, Erie 10. Big 3rd down play for the Blaze, 3rd and 7. The ball on their own 19-yard line. Brumfield and Woods in motion, but the pass across the middle to Seth Meyer. He gets into Erie territory down at the 23-yard line. And that'll be enough for a Bismarck first down. Actually, they mark it at the 22. Decent crowd on hand tonight, not as big as the Invaders have had in the past. Of course, this is also our first sniff of summer. 90 degrees and sunshine. Here's the give to Cradle, right side, makes a cut at the 20 and barrels his way down to the 16-yard line. Tackle on the play by Corey Keys. That's a pickup of 6 on the play. Clock moving, 1:15 to play first half. This Bismarck drive started on their own 4-yard line. They were lucky. A Jamie Pucci punt was almost recovered by the Invaders. Here's Ragsdale now on the rollout. Looks to throw across the middle. Pass is intended for Cradle. Ed Matty on the defense. It'll bring up 3rd down. Clock stops with 57 seconds to play. Looked on that play like Ragsdale might have been able to run. The left side was wide open. Third and 5, the ball on the Bismarck 16-yard line. Ragsdale in the shotgun. They go with trips right. Straight drop back, throw across the middle. and it was intended for Brumfield. Pass is incomplete. That's the first bad pass that Ragsdale's thrown all evening. That one just got away from him. Released it a little too soon, and it sailed over Brumfield's head. Brings up 4th down. And you got to think that the Blaze will go for it this deep in, and they will. They go with Meyer, Brumfield, and Woods, all split wide to the right side. Cradle the lone setback. Ragsdale in the shotgun. Pass across the middle. Oh, Brumfield had it 2 or 3 times. Juggle it and drop.